It's great to be talking to you, Matt. Congratulations on making the jury. I mean, that's a great accomplishment in itself.
Oh, for sure. I mean, everyone who goes on Survivor is like, I don't want to be the first one out, but also I really want to make merge, right? It's like one of the things you're thinking about a lot when you're out there. And I made it happen, if only barely.
Well, obviously, a big part of your Survivor journey was your relationship with Franny. Why do you think you two really hit it off so well? Because, watching the show, it's like you guys have been friends for life.
Yeah, and that caught me way off guard, to be honest. Like you're coming out here and like 18 castaways on a beach, they're total strangers. You don't expect to immediately click so intensely with someone out there, and I think it caught both of us off guard. And like for those first few days, we couldn't help it. We wanted to do was just talk to each other all the freaking time. And we were like, wait a second, you have to. This is Survivor. We're like playing a game here. Like this is dumb. But yeah, I mean, I think it's really, really rare to find someone with whom you have so
Yeah.
like much chemistry right off the gate, like without any pretense. Like I feel like I've known her forever.
Now, obviously, this season started out with quite, smaller tribes. And usually, if, you're in that kind of, even just a regular, like, friendship alliance thing, you want to kind of play that on the down low. You don't want to make yourself a target. How hard was it to hide that relationship for the rest of the tribe, or was it virtually impossible?
It was impossible. It genuinely, we could not. And we did try, but it was all futile. Like literally Claire, her reactions, I love them. Like I love watching it back because it's so funny. It was plain to see for everyone. I will say we tried to tone it down over time. Like the
Right,
last couple episodes, we genuinely did not spend very much time together at all because
right.
we knew like yeah, and I think everyone on Soka was like so sure that we were like the showman's energy was strong, but we tried to tone that down in front of everyone else.
Now, obviously, fans are going to want to know this, maybe those who don't follow social media a lot. What are things, give us an update on your relationship now. How are things going?
Oh, things are great. Me and Franny are dating. It's official. We're going strong. Yeah. I think it's rare in life, much less on Survivor, to find like a connection that
Yeah,
deep. And for me, this was like I have to. I owe it to myself
you're right.
to like allow this to flourish. And it's a beautiful thing. I love spending time with Franny. She's like wonderful on and off the island. And yeah, we are still dating. Happy to announce it.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. Good for you. All the congratulations on that. And what I was wondering too is that I've been watching Survivor since the very beginning, and you're one of the most pure souls I've seen on the show. You are who you are. You're genuine, a very down to earth guy. Now, a person with that mindset, this is a really cruel game at times. This is a really cutthroat, nasty game. How did you navigate those waters knowing that this is the kind of personality and person you are without compromising yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's in Survivor. Every asset is a weakness and vice
Right.
versa,
True.
right? So this is one of those things. I wanted to play a genuine game because I felt like that played to my strengths. I wanted
Right.
to make real friendships and real bonds out there, at least for like the first, 2/3 of the game. At
Right.
some point, you got to start stabbing each other in the back, and like I was prepared to do that. But yeah, I knew I couldn't play in a way that was not me,
Right.
right? I can't be Danny and play the way that Danny plays. I
Right.
have to be myself and play the way I play it with my strengths and weaknesses. And so my strengths, what I thought, it was like I wanted to just be, like form real genuine bonds with people. And I think I did out there.
Yeah.
I think that mission was accomplished clearly with Franny.
Now, you guys did hit a little bump in the road last episode because obviously Brandy won the challenge, and one would think that, well, maybe to keep you and her, you and her safe, that you could have thrown it and let the other team win. How was your? Obviously, you were proud of her and a friendship. You're proud of her success and how well she did. How else did you take it though? Did you blame? Did you have any harbor any feelings about that at all afterwards, like thinking it through?
Yeah, no, I mean, even in the moment, I knew I was like, Franny, drop the freaking ball, like you're safe, I'm safe, that's great, like let's do that. But I also cannot blame her, right? Like this
Yeah,
is a dream of everyone, to like win the immunity challenge and get given the necklace by Jeff, and so like I would never ever take that away from her. I think that's like a life achievement for her,
yeah,
and I am genuinely really proud. And part of why I said that on the way out is because I didn't want her to blame herself. Like I wanted
right.
her to like understand that I understand and I
Yeah.
like love her for it anyway. And yeah, so I did, I'd be lying if I was like, if I said like, Franny just dropped the freaking thing, like we're both safe. Like I was sort of hoping for that to happen, but also I'm very proud of her, and like I wouldn't ever want to take that away from her.
Well, the
Yeah,
thing is too with Survivor, I mean, you have Jeff Probst yelling at you. You're in the heat of the moment, so it's quite easy to like transcend and just get into that competitor mode. And another
exactly.
question a lot of people have for you, and maybe there is no answer to this, but why didn't you bring your brag?
I this is what kept me up at night. I'm dumb for that one, and there's like no excuse. So honestly, it was like we were merged, right?
Right.
Officially merged. Everyone's
Yeah.
together, and in my mind, I was like, "There's no universe where we don't come back to this beach, right?"
True.
Like
Right.
there's no
Right.
possibility of this, and they've
Right.
never done this before. I don't think where they split them all the way up until tribal, and then they come together. I'm still wearing contacts in tribal contacts because I wasn't able to take them out. Like so. That caught me off guard, and to be honest, like to be maybe throwing people under the bus, I was not the only person who left their bag as well. Like this was
Right. Right.
nobody saw this coming. Am I dumb for it? Absolutely. Have I learned that lesson the hard way? Absolutely. Not taken away from that, but I just had no idea. I couldn't even conceive of a world in which we didn't go back
Right.
to.
Right. Now, again, we spoke about Franny winning the challenge and what that meant to your game. On the other hand, you got to see last night how much and how hard she fought for you to the point of putting herself out there and really highlighting you guys as like an alliance. Watching that, you must have felt really good to see her, on the other end of things, fighting for you as she did.
Yeah, this is one of those things. Like after the game, we all talk about it, but I didn't know
Yeah.
what happened at that other beach. And so to hear everyone be like, like Matt's great, we gotta save Matt, and then to hear her like, wow, like everyone likes Matt, me included. Like that's so sus. Like I had no idea that was the dynamic over there. So I mean, it was really heartwarming to see, and it was validating for me to hear that because I felt like I
Yeah.
was making social bonds and like playing a good social game, and that kind of emphasized that point and like validated it for me.
Now, I ask this of all the survivors and castaways I've talked to because obviously, we see what's on television, but that's a small microcosm of what you guys go through out there and what you experience. So, based on your edit so far, is there anything you wish they would have shown, whether it was a special moment, some kind of strategy, just an accomplishment? Is there anything about your journey you wish people got to see?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that come to mind. I actually, so 6 months before we started filming, I had no idea how to swim. I would flounder in the water, and that was legitimately one of my biggest fears going into the game was having to
Right.
do like an ocean
Water.
swimming challenge. But I worked like super hard. I took lessons. I was swimming like every day basically.
Nice.
And like the challenge with where you jump in with the keys, that
Right,
was
right,
like a
right.
personal moment for me of like kind of like conquering this fear of like swimming in the deep blue ocean. And I sort of wish that they had shown that, but honestly I'm really thrilled with the edit. Like all of the cute Franny moments, that was really all I wanted to see. So, and I got that in spades, so I'm happy with it.
Now you have made the jury, and obviously you can't relate too many details, but when you realized you made it to the jury and you got to decompress and think about things, what are the qualities, Matt, that you're looking for in the person you want to award the money to in the title of Sole Survivor?
For sure. for me, the game is all about perception. It's like a little bit of a cliche, but it's also true. And I want to
Right.
know that like you understand how everyone else is perceiving you,
Right.
and you understand what's going on in the game and the relationships, and then you navigate your way through that. So what I want you to demonstrate as if you're a like final tribal person, is basically that you understand what happened in the game and how people were perceiving you at every stage of the game throughout the whole
Right.
thing.
Right.
And like that doesn't necessarily mean control. It can be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I don't necessarily care as much about who is like driving the vote as I care
Right.
about who you're in on it, basically, and you understand your position relative to everyone else. I want people to demonstrate that to me in Final Tribal.
Right. Now, one final question again, like again, you're one of the castaways that's come in that I've seen is like a very pure soul and before coming into the game.
Thank
Has
you.
Survivor changed you in any way? Has the experience changed you? Your maybe perception of other people, maybe perception of life? Has it altered any of that for you coming out of it on the other end?
Yeah, this was a really big growth moment for me, I
Right.
think. I think in a lot of situations, I kind of self-sabotage. I start to second guess myself and like,
Right.
whatever. I mean, you should have seen me in the first few interviews on the island. I was stuttering. I couldn't get a freaking word out because I was overthinking everything that comes out of my
Right.
mouth, thinking like,
Right.
wow, like this is gonna be in front of a million people, like, like I was freaked out. But over time, I was able to sort of just like calm myself down,
You're
tell
right.
myself you have a voice
Yeah.
that matters. You have a perspective that matters, and bringing it out into the world is something that you're like you should do. And finding that kind of like confidence and that sweet spot of like I don't know, like believing in what I have to say and
Yeah.
believing it's worth something. I think that was like a really big shift for me.
Right.
And I think like before and after, like this really has been like a pretty big like pivot for me and life changing and like confidence building moment for me in my life.
Well, that's amazing to hear. Once again, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. So great to hear how things are going with you and Franny. All the best of luck in the future, and can't wait to see you on the finale and what you have to say then.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Great, Matt. Well, take care and have yourself a great day.
Yeah, you as well.